Hi teacher, good evening. My name is Jean Ramirez. I hope you're doing very well. The topic of this video is about the class number 6. For the 6th class, I decided to choose the topic possessive adjectives, possessive nouns, possessive pronouns, and questions with whose. The student's grade is first baccalaureate. The student's level is elementary. And the duration of the class is 45 minutes. About the objectives or goals for the class are that learners will be able to identify possessive adjectives, possessive nouns, and questions with whose. Also, learners will be able to appropriately use possessive adjectives and possessive pronouns. Furthermore, learners will be able to discriminate the possessive adjectives and the possessive pronouns. And finally, students will be able to state their own questions using whose. About the methodology and strategies, the methods used in this class are the communicative language teaching, the grammar translation method. About the vocabulary, those were the methods used in this class, and about the strategies were used the vocabulary role-play strategy and the pair work and individual work. Those were the strategies and methods used for this class. For the anticipatory set, students will be shown a chart, a grammar chart of possessive adjectives and possessive pronouns with examples of each of them. I will have students to watch and analyze the difference between possessive adjectives and possessive pronouns. For the main teaching input, I will use the blackboard and I will explain students examples of possessive adjectives and possessive pronouns. I will translate in order for students to understand me, to understand the words. I will make some examples of each possessive adjective and possessive pronouns. And once I have explained the possessive adjectives and possessive pronouns, I will compare again one of them, the possessive adjectives and the possessive pronouns, in order for students to be able to properly understand the topic. That's the grammar translation. Again, after the explanation, a student this time will be asked to make their examples using the target grammar. I will help them, I will guide them in order to do the activity successfully. And then they have done that, the students will be asked to make examples using the possessive and adjective pronouns, but it has to be the same or similar example. For instance, students will write, "This is my car," and "The car is mine." "This is my bed," "The bed is mine." In order for a student to discriminate the possessive adjective and possessive pronouns, then I will have students to do their own examples using whose and possessive nouns. They will do questions like, "Whose car is this? Whose pencil is this? It's Daniel's pencils. It's Daniel's cars," and examples like that. Then the class will be divided into two groups. The first group puts something in a bag that belongs to him or her. Then the group passes the bag to another group, to the other group, to the second group. The students in the second group will talk about each object, and they will try to guess the owner and tell reasons why. The activity will be repeated, but in the second time, the groups will shift roles. That's the communicative language teaching. And finally, I will dictate a short dialogue, and students will will have to write the dictation in their notebooks in order to check students' progress, if they are understanding the topic or not. About the modeling, students understood the topic and acquired knowledge and information by following and using grammatical structures and through communicative activities and interactions among students. For the guide practice, students in group will have to create a short dialogue and perform it using the target vocabulary. I will help learners, giving them some examples, some ideas, and writing them on the board. I will write examples or ideas on the board, and they will have to complete the dialogue. I will help them in order to facilitate their job. For the independent practice, again, I will write a short dialogue in the blackboard with several mistakes. So students will be asked individually to go to the board and correct a mistake in the dialogue. But he or she will also have to explain why it's wrong. So they will have to correct a mistake and they will have to explain why that's wrong. All the students will have to do that activity individually. For the assessment, the students will be asked to solve a short quiz. Students will have about 10 minutes to develop because the test is not so hard, it's not so difficult, so I consider that students don't need much time to solve it. That's why I decided to give them just 10 minutes. For closing review and follow-up, students will be shown one more time the grammar chart with the possessive adjectives and possessive pronouns, and they will be asked to discriminate again the difference, and the class will be over with the feedback. The supplementary or didactic materials used in this class, as you notice, were the grammar chart of the possessive and adjective pronouns with example of each of them. That the grammar chart is including the didactic materials. Also, I will use the TV and the computer to show a student this grammar chart. I will use the audiovisual aids to show a student this grammar chart. Obviously, the markers and the blackboard are also included in this lesson plan or class. And the assessment, in the assessment, students will have to cross out underlined words and replace them using his, her, its, or their. They will also have to complete the conversation. They will have to circle the correct answer. In the test, students will also have to complete using the possessive adjectives. I will write some sentences and they will have to complete using the correct possessive adjectives. Also, as you notice, realia is also included in this class because in one activity I will use real objects for students to understand better and easier the topic, and also for making the class more dynamic, more interesting, and also for students to do the activity with emotion, with like. And that's why I decided to use realia, and realia also makes a better environment and makes the learner will be more effective. So those were all the materials included for this class. And again, thank you, dear teacher, for your time. I hope you like the video and enjoy it. So see you soon on the 7th video. Goodbye and have a nice night.